Hello, all, and welcome to a vertical review. Well, it's probably no surprise because you saw the few things that I've posted beforehand, so obviously I'm going to be doing the vertical of the Dewars. Now, I'm not the first person to do this. I'm not even the first person of like people who watch me that I also follow do it. Like I believe Ron Theriot, one of my viewers, who I also view on occasion. He reviews a lot of stuff like that is not interesting to me, but he also reviews a whole bunch of stuff. Is like, where in the God's name did you find that? But yeah, so he did this back in 2021. Same sort of vertical with Dewars. He does a lot of verticals. He does a lot of reviews. Period. That guy posts like about 2 or 3 reviews a day. I know he watches this on occasion, so if seeing this, hey, watch your reviews, and yeah, I wish I could do as many as you, but unfortunately, budget and health say nay to that. Now, I haven't uploaded recently because I've been lazy. Besides alcohol, my other main hobbies are reading books and playing strategy games. Both of them are time consuming. And yeah, so I'm hoping with this upcoming week that I get to uploading. And yeah, well, there's also been things going on in my personal life too. Personal, professional life. I mean, I should say I don't really have much of a personal life outside of family at this point. But yeah, so what are we vertically comparing today? We have Dewar's White Label, which is the standard expression of Dewar's. No age statement, but I've read around, it's like around 8 years thereabouts. And then Dewar's aged 12 years. This is the one with the age statement. There's ones that are aged longer. I've never seen them. I've seen them online, never in person. So they exist somewhere out there in this wide, wide world of ours. So why am I doing these two? Well, because the Mizunara, and I am going to go and do a vertical of the Mizunara. The Mizunara tastes quite distinct from the original Dewar's White Label, even without having to do a vertical. A vertigo, yeah, a vertigo, a vertical. Vertigo. Ooh, I'm dizzy. But yeah. So I want to do something where it's a bit closer. You know, we're closer in flavor and smell profiles because the Mizunara oak definitely went and changed. The other one quite heavily. So, without much further ado, let's just go and start pouring these out. A dram for you. Yeah, that's about it. Accidentally spilled a few drops on my desk. But that's okay. It'll probably make it smell better than it usually is. Not only is this my computer desk, this is also my dinner table. And is made out of particle board. So, yeah. That's why I very rarely push the thing down. So, in fact, I'm actually going to do that today, but first I'm going to go and put some cover here. So, this is White Label. This is 12 years. Already, you can see a difference. This one, 12 years, slightly darker. Now, that could be either age or it could be the different amount or different type of caramel coloring being added to it. Because caramel coloring is allowable in Scotch, and it's flavorless, so I don't have a problem with it. So yeah, very different coloration. Got this one here, 12, the white label and the 12 year. White label being basically just lighter colored. This one's a little bit more golden, this one's a little bit more copper, but I don't think we even need the paper here. Okay, legging. I don't know if you can tell. White label has thinner legging than the 12 year. Okay, just some chilled water. Nosing. Okay, kind of a fermented fruitiness, fermented stone fruit. Got a bit of an alcohol smell to it. Honeyed. Stone fruit, slightly of peach almost. Peatiness is subtle but rough, almost like it's combining with that alcohol to kind of be a little bit more jagged, I suppose. The alcohol is the alcohol almost gives it like a slightly magic marker kind of smell to it, just ever so slightly. It's not a positive note. Okay, on to the 12 year. Much, much softer. Doesn't have that alcohol note. That said, it's still very understated. It's not really booming in smells. Kind of have like that black cherry, honey denotes, I suppose. A slight woodiness, a slight peatiness. The peatiness isn't as sharp, it's just gentle, very subtle. All in all, very soft and kind of understated in the nose. This being, of course, a 12 year. Okay. Onto the palate now, shall we? Again, very dry, kind of hot in the finish. Big, boomy, but not very smoky peatiness in the finish. Really overwhelming top note there of the peat in the finish. Very long finish, just a slight sweetness on the tongue. The peatiness is on the palate as well. from the mids. It just really ramps up quickly into the finish. Like I said, it's not particularly smoky, or it's not evocative of anything other than peat, really. The sweetness is up there in the front, but it's pretty abruptly cut off. So you lose that honey and fruit pretty quickly. It's just there ever so briefly up front. Mm. The more I taste it, the more the alcohol kind of shows up there in that finish. That alcohol heat. As well as, oh, there it is, that astringency in the long finish. Okay, on to the 12-year. Much softer. All those rough edges of the alcohol are really removed. You still have that astringency in the long finish, but it's not as sharp or as jarring. Kind of have black cherry as a stone fruit up front. And it gradually moves into peatiness in the mids to finish. Peatiness is not as rough as in the white label. Like I said, it still has that astringency in the long finish, however. So basically, the heat has been removed. The alcohol heat. That said, the flavors are very muddied and very soft and subtle. It doesn't have any particularly bold taste notes to it. Maybe a slight nuttiness. Okay, back to the white label. Ooh. You know, just in comparison, for some reason this is making my nose run. I have no idea why. Just in comparison, the white label is, when you actually put it side by side, the roughness of the white label really stands out more than I expected it to. Excuse me. Now, that's not to say that the 12 year is, amazing. It removes that roughness, but it doesn't have like any hidden character that comes shining through. It's all very indistinct, all very understated, all very ho hum. It's not going to go and be a drain pour, but it's also not going to be something that you really savor. I mean, excuse me. Excuse me. This is like the first time I've ever had a scotch cause me to get, a runny nose. Uh, Maybe I'm just getting an allergy to alcohol. Oh, God, help me. Allergy to alcohol, allergy to tobacco, allergy to caffeine. My God, what will I have to live for then at that point? Chickens. That's what I'll have to live for. So, yeah, where was I? So, honestly, I was expecting this to go a bit longer, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I guess you can use like the white label as a mixer. I don't know. I don't really make cocktails. I don't know if it'll. It has the characteristics of a scotch. You'll get peatiness from it. You'll get a slight sweetness, and you'll get a bit of graininess as well. But it's not particularly pleasant to drink by itself. Now that I have like another thing that's a little bit more refined, it's basically the same juice, a bit more refined. This is, of course, being the white label. 12 years, refined, it removes, sands off all those rough edges, but like I said, nothing really amazing emerges from that, once the rough edges are removed. If you need to, I mean, when it comes down to it, when it comes to blended Scotch whiskeys, I'm probably just going to go and stick with Johnny Walker Black. You know? It's not that much more expensive than this 12 year. The peat has a smoky quality to it. It has a little bit more character. And it goes down just as easy as this 12 year without that astringent note in the finish. So, yeah. Dewar's White Label, I mean, you can use it for a mixer, I guess. It's not, or you can drink it straight. It's not like so awful you're going to be gagging. It's just very, very alcoholic hot. And this, perfectly fine. Off note in the long finish. Kind of prefer Johnny Walker Black, which is about the same as this, maybe a slightly more expensive. But yeah, I mean, none of this is going to be a drain pour. None of it is like, offensive to me. But yeah, when it boils down to it, I'm probably going. If I need a blended Scotch whiskey that I'm just going to be sipping, it's going to be Johnny Walker Black. I wish it was Johnny Walker Blue, but I can't afford Johnny Walker Blue. Who can? So, like I said, not going to do the water thing this time. But yeah, that was your vertical comparison review. It is what it is. Wish it could be a little bit more exciting. This is not one of the more interesting ones I've done. I apologize for that, but You know, there just isn't that much there. And I think I'll have a little bit more to discuss with the Mizunara one. Anyways, that has been your vertical review for this evening, folks, or this afternoon. I'm not sure why it's so dark. It's only 5 o'clock. Well, 5:20 anyways. Cheers.